riding around in his car for a good 45 minutes, and he was driving like, he was driving aggressively on snow and ice, which is not possible in my cars. In any car I've driven on snow and ice. It was amazing. We had some interesting tech on it that I just haven't really seen from anybody else. So I think Mercedes does have an edge there. So I thought that was interesting. And then performance-wise, the BMWs are all about the high rev, high output, whereas the Mercedes-Benz has been focused on large displacement V8s. They only redline at 6,500 versus the BMWs that are going north of 8,000 RPM nowadays. This one included. It changes the dynamic of driving it, and I think I'm still in the BMW camp in that sense. But it was interesting, and it's good to be able to have access to that power at the lower RPM ranges. It's a lot more usable, and I think the Mercedes-Benz is a more usable car day to day. The BMWs are race cars. That's just what they are, and that's what I like. Though the practicality of the Mercedes does start to win out over time. Not that I'm eager to do anything but have these great cars, but I see the appeal, and it was really interesting to go and have that experience. Okay, but I do want to talk about the dealership, what it was like, what I thought about the product lineup. These are questions that I get from my friends a lot, and that was part of my motivation to go today. It's just, I don't want people to ask me what the great car is when I haven't actually driven one myself. So, Mercedes-Benz of Manhattan, as it happens, is actually owned by Mercedes-Benz USA, which is headquartered not too far from here in Montvale, New Jersey, although they're in the process of moving down to the Atlanta area. For whatever reason, the Manhattan showroom dealership is the only dealership in the country that is owned by Mercedes-Benz USA. The rest are basically like franchises. So I guess there's a different level of product offering and emphasis on quality and things like that in this dealership. So it was a real pleasure to come to this store. From the moment I drove in, I went down this curvy entrance ramp into a garage, and it's clear they have hundreds of cars in the basement. It was incredibly easy to park my car. It was like parking in a spotless garage. You could eat off the floor. So that was a pleasurable experience, which is not something I expect to have in Manhattan, because Manhattan is crazy and real estate is expensive. I had low expectations, which were well exceeded. I walked into the place in a good mood, and I went and looked at the pre-owned used cars that were in very good condition upstairs, and I sat in some of the cars. One guy approached me, nice guy, zero pressure. In fact, I indicated that I was seriously looking at AMG models, and he didn't really seem to want to stick around to sell me on it. I was amazed by that. Nice guy. We talked for a few minutes, and then from there I casually walked downstairs to the main area, and I basically just looked at all of the different cars that they had. I wanted to get a very good lay of the land, and I would say that the product, like, gosh, this pothole-ridden road is insane. I wanted to get a feel for the lay of the land, and the product line for Mercedes has gotten to be quite complex. All right, now, okay. Now we're going to have a little bit more space to move, I hope. We're getting to northern Manhattan now. We're on the Henry Hudson Parkway. It's a really pretty road. I believe it's laid out by Robert Moses. Anyway, so back to the product lineup. You know, you've got the SUVs, which hold virtually no appeal to me. It was really interesting to see how much I responded to certain cars and not at all others. Okay, this is actually a great road, so I'm gonna shut up for a little while. Let's try to enjoy this. I don't know if the sound of the engine is coming through at all. It's just this quiet rumble. I'm in 5th gear. I'm going to go ahead and go into 6th. Actually, we're approaching a curve. I think I want to be in 4. Oh, this is such a great road. If I could go about 20 miles an hour faster, it would just be spectacular. But I can't because I'm behind a wall of traffic. It makes a lot of sense if you really want to drive a car. It makes sense to do it really early in the morning. If I had gotten out at 6 or 7 o'clock this morning, granted it was snowing at the time, but that's the time to do it. Radar enforced. It's really tempting to just drop it into 3rd and fly. But I see all of these warnings that are ominous. I don't want to press my luck. Okay, so we were talking about the product lineup. The SUVs don't really have much interest to me. It's interesting to look at the price points. The ML, actually pretty much across the product line, let's accelerate a little bit here.